everybody, it's Aubrey here from Cast and Cast. So a few weeks ago we posted a lyric video for Awoken, which we had mentioned is the first song that Dave and I wrote together. Today we're going to share with you the story behind the song. Enjoy. Why don't you kick things off? When did you write it? And how did you end up bringing it to Cast and Cast?
I actually wrote it a few years before we were even working together. And it was, just things that I had, like it was a melody inside my head, and I had some things that I was working through for myself. So basically, when it was originally written on guitar, it had the guitar parts and it had a name. But usually, I kind of let whoever I'm working with come up with the name. But this was one of those tunes that I was like, no. This song is called Awoken, and we have to kind of make it become that. And then it was when I was, working with you that we finally got to bring that to life.
So before you brought it to me, did another singer or lyricist write vocals and write, words to it?
I mean, there may or may not have been a feeble attempt at bringing that song to life prior to working with you, but yeah, that song meant something to me, so any chance that or opportunity I got to kind of bring that to life, I tried. But yeah, there were a couple swing and a misses before I was working with you.
Did you ever perform it as something else? I don't think that's something that I've ever asked you before.
I don't think so. I don't think I was ever happy with the product enough to say, hey, let's go ahead and do this.
Mm-hmm. I remember you showing me a video, probably within like the last year, of you playing it with one of your former bands, and I was like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
that's our song.
Yeah, there might be like a couple of videos of messing around with a few other guitars. As a matter of fact, there is a video of me trying to write drums to it. So I taught a guitarist to play the song, and then I sat on an electronic drum kit. So there's a video of me playing Awoken on the drums with no words.
Oh, that's fantastic. So fast forward to you and I having our first sit down together after the interview at Samuel's Pancake House in Wildwood.
My interview, yeah.
Yes. So we're going to October of 2015, I believe, was the first time you and I sat down together to see how we could collaborate. You presented Awoken to me. What were you thinking? Like, how were your feelings behind taking another go at this song with somebody else?
Well, it was kind of wild because when we first sat down to actually write material, and we were in the infamous dining room, it was kind of like, well, let's just take both of our brains and spit everything on the floor, and where should we start? And Awoken, was like right there, on the tip of my brain, like, all right, well, here's something. It's mostly complete. I have an idea of the melody, and it has a name. Let's, throw it to the wall like pasta and see if it sticks.
Yeah, I remember asking you when you first played the music to me, what was going through your mind, what was going through your life, what is the emotional intention that you have behind the song? And I remember you telling me Awoken, that Awoken was the title of the song. And I said, okay, so tell me why Awoken, why that name, where did that come from?
I hate to be cliche, but a lot of music and it has to do with like relationships you're in and things like that. And unfortunately, this wasn't just about one relationship it was in. It was actually this, an idea that I had about relationships for a long time. When you're with somebody that's not right for you, you actually change who you are. And before you know it, you're so buried deep inside this mask that you're wearing that's completely not like yourself. Awoken was the idea that, that's it. I've recognized this issue and I'm not going to repeat the problem. And when you're finally awoken, there we go. I even tattooed it on my chest, for the record.
Yes. Yeah, it was so funny that was the first thing that we collaborated on, because I was going through something so similar to that, and but at the same time, it was very important to me to make sure that I was telling your story. I didn't want to just take your inspiration and tell my story. I wanted it to be a story that both of us could relate to, and that other people listening to it could relate to as well. So I went through a couple versions of of a vocal melody. So when it came time to me presenting what ended up being the final version to you, I was really nervous because I wanted it to speak to you. I didn't want to just say, hey, here's my contribution. I wanted you to listen to it and feel like, yeah, that really does tell my story.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of weight behind the song, most definitely.
Yeah.
But I was extremely happy with with the lyrics and how they came out, because if you could, obviously when you're creating music, you have nothing, and then there's something inside your mind which technically in real life is still nothing. But when you finally, it's manifested and it's right there in front of you and it's tangible and you can touch it and you can listen to it and it's right, it's something that washes over you and you just know, like, all right, this is it, we did it.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. And I actually remember the very first time that I sang it all the way through for you, and I was trying not to intently stare too much, like trying to read your face because you were playing guitar at the same time. But it felt, like you feel one way when you're writing a song and you're by yourself, but when you're presenting it to your partner, it's a whole different feel, because the energy, I mean, you and I have talked so many times about the energy that's in the room when you and I are collaborating on something.
Yes.
So I remember the first time that I sang the finished version to you, and I just remember thinking, this is it. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a home run right out of the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it was a great start. The fact that the first song that we collaborated on hopefully completed your journey with the music from the very beginning. Now you have not some closure, but really like a starting point where now that music that you wrote so long ago can finally be shared with other people in its best form.
I mean, the music that lives inside our head, that's our baby. So when you finally get to have that baby and it's out there in the world, it's definitely a treasured thing. And for it to be the first song that you and I worked on, it kind of makes it even, that much more special.
Yeah. Jason, would you like to join in and add anything to the conversation?
No conversation.
He said, what conversation? All right, well, thank you very much for sharing your backstory of the song and allowing me to complete it. I absolutely love it, and
Agreed.
I love that we were able to collaborate on it.
Thumbs up.
And that I was able to fulfill the initial vision that you had for the song.
The baby's alive.
Yay! All right, that does it for this week. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you check us out on all the other social media outlets. See you next time.